Are there any restrictions for lifting weights plus yoga? If you have an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, so that's in the traditional sort of collarbone position, are there any sort of movement restrictions and sort of lifting weights or yoga restrictions that you're aware of?
Yeah, I would say I'll keep it kind of general and then give two ways to approach this again. Once, another thing is when you're having your your basically your checkup or your monitoring with the device, it's always something to ask the physiologist to get more kind of specialized advice in relation to how the device is set, where it's positioned, if it's lower down as well, because not all of them are positioned up here. So it will be asking those specific questions to them and seeing what they say. There's more restrictions for ICD devices upon implementation. So within the like the first 6 to 8 weeks, about not raising your arm up or not extending above too high, keeping the arm kind of within kind of below shoulder height in relation to helping the lead settle. But again, that can vary on device and upon devices. There's some devices out there now that don't even have any leads in relation to some people have even pacemakers. Um, if you've had a device implanted quite a while back and therefore you're not in those initial phases anymore, it's generally if it's implemented on the left or it might be implemented on your less dominant side. For example, I'm right-handed, so it would sometimes for me they tend to implement it on my left side. It's the side with like less movement. So what we're trying to avoid with that arm is any repetitive movement or repetitive stretching. So examples of that will be like swimming, kind of a constant moving, or kind of like tennis kind of action. But to reach up and pick something off of a shelf or something like that, I haven't come across much limitations from relation to a strength training perspective. If you're lifting lighter weights or weights that you feel comfortable to lift, as opposed to lifting a bench press, it's a heavy weight and it's pushing your arms back like that, or pushing your arms back behind you. If you're just talking about just general activity or general weightlifting, as opposed to specific ones, there isn't a whole lot of restrictions. But once again, I would advise that you would speak with your physiologist. And in relation to yoga and things like that, that would probably depend on the person's specific mobility. I've seen patients when they do a downward dog that their kind of arms would, I don't know if I'm going to show this, but their arms will kind of go back like that. They're kind of hypermobile in some of those positions. So I would say just be mindful about overextending in that position in a repetitive motion. So, for example, if you're washing your hair type of thing, it's not necessarily that you're constantly doing it all the time in